Hello, Manic Mercurian here with a solar return reading, and this reading is for someone who was born on September 16th, 1987 at 8:30 a.m. in Sheridan, Wyoming, but that is not the chart that you see here. The chart you see here is the solar return chart, so this is the most recent birthday. um, Specifically, it's actually not the birthday, but it's the exact point that the transiting sun reached the point on the ecliptic or the sun's path where it was when this person was born. So this is actually the chart of Wednesday, September 15th, 2021 at 1:56 p.m. and it is in the place that the person was at the time. So this is in Fort Collins, Colorado, because you said you were working, which kind of sucks for right around your birthday, but the good news is I think this is a nice year generally speaking. There's some interesting themes here. So the first thing you might notice is that the ascendant is in Sagittarius, and Sun is in the ninth house, which is a little bit similar to Sagittarius. And then the Moon is in Capricorn first house. Now, I've explained before that with solar return charts, I don't get as deep into them as I do with natal charts. I mostly look at the sun, moon, and the rising, and specifically the house of the sun. But the main things here are it's the Sagittarius ascendant, ninth house sun with Capricorn moon. So the combination of ninth house sun with Sagittarius rising means that this year you will be questioning things, wanting to expand your mind and your soul with knowledge and wisdom. So based on this chart, this looks like an excellent year for doing some research or, especially asking the bigger questions. So getting into philosophy or like astrology, for instance. Ninth house represents universities and churches, wherever you get your, sort of higher information, so to speak. So that's kind of a big part of the general theme. Gaining, wanting not only the knowledge and wisdom, but also the new experiences that will result in you broadening your worldview and your perspective. So that's generally where the focus is. Another big part of the focus is symbolized by the moon. So the moon is in first house Capricorn. Moon is in a cardinal sign, so that indicates this year, well, this year looks like a time of a lot of change. The rising is in a mutable sign of Sagittarius, and then the moon is in a cardinal sign of Capricorn. There's not a lot of fixed energy, so there's a lot of endings and beginnings. So I think this year is definitely a transitional year for you. There's a lot kind of just changing, just things starting, things ending, etc. But the moon in particular is in Capricorn, first house, which indicates definitely a new beginning, and you are wanting to really have long-term plans. So there is a lot kind of changing, a lot of adjustments being made. But through all this change, you're really wanting to make sure that these changes are semi-permanent. I think that's what you desire right now. You're wanting to make sure that if you do have to change something, you're changing your situation to something that will work for a long time for you. So you're really wanting to kind of, set some roots down, and even if it may require change to like what I'm trying to explain is sometimes it requires change to get yourself to a situation that will be more stable, basically. So I think that's generally what this year is all about. Those are the two main themes I noticed. One is wanting higher knowledge, information, wisdom, experiences, and the other is making change, but doing so in order to get yourself to a place that is more stable. That's the desire. That's your intention for this year, generally speaking. And let's get a little bit more specific here. So pretty much all the inner planets are at the top of the chart, so this would indicate that you have sort of a public profile right now. And even the moon, which wasn't visible at this solar return time, it is in first house Capricorn, which is a pretty prominent, expressive, reputable place, I would say. So this would indicate that you're being noticed this year. People are noticing you at work or in public a lot. You're maybe getting more attention than you normally would. And that can be good or bad, of course. It just comes with pros and cons of being more noticed. But this does look like a really strong time for your reputation. You have Mercury and Venus in the 10th house. This is Placidus, of course. So, but and then Sun and Mars in the ninth house. So this just shows that you're very visible at this time. You have a strong presence, a strong profile, strong reputations, generally speaking. So that's a good thing. So you might be more noticeable in your job or your career in particular. Let's see, and like I said, I don't get super deep into these charts, but those are the main themes I notice here. Mercury is in Libra, and being a Virgo, it does rule over your sun, so that is a little bit of a different energy. So you might be a little bit more contemplative, indecisive, more kind of detached or observant than you otherwise would um, this year. And you also have Saturn and Jupiter in the second house in this chart, so that's indicating that you're expanding financially, but there's also extra weight on you financially. So having Jupiter and Saturn in both in the second house, it's like it's growth and expansion, but steady growth and expansion. You're having like extra weight on you in these areas, but you're still exceeding that heavy responsibility and still expanding, despite those challenges. And it's very much a financial type of thing. But that's generally what I see. So if you have any questions, definitely we can continue corresponding. I'd be happy to delve further into anything more specific. But that's generally what I see. I see this year as a time of change for you, a time of changing to what will be more concrete, stable, long-term circumstances. So you're very goal-oriented, and you're also focused on asking the bigger questions and gaining that wisdom and experience that will broaden your perspective here. So that's what I see. I hope that helps you, and I appreciate the request. And for anyone else, if you'd like a reading, just email me at manic.mercurian@gmail.com. But thanks for watching. I'll see you later.